So you think you have problems, right? Go home and read the book of Job. There was a man with problems. Catastrophes, not problems. And what happened? Along came the neighborhood theologians. And they surrounded him and explained it all to him. All this happens to you because you're a sinner. Good things happen to good people, bad things happen to bad people. We know that's bad theology, don't we? I hope by this time. But then look at ourselves. We had the book of Genesis, which explained everything. How everything came into being. Actually in 7 days. 6 days, I guess. And then the scientists came along around the time of the Renaissance and the Middle Ages. And we began to have some doubts about all this creation by God. Job and we were in the same boat for a while. But what I like about modern science is that it really leads us deeper into the mystery of God as a creator. In fact, it takes us farther than that. It isn't a God who creates everything and then sits back and watches, but it's a God who creates and sustains on a daily basis. I mean, what does evolution teach us but an ongoing creation? That's wonderful. I don't know why so many Christians are threatened by people like Galileo, Newton. Evolution is a way of discovering the depths of God. Then we have miracles. That's another problem, isn't it? Miracles. Things out of the order of nature. Ancient people saw them everywhere. But we have scientific minds, and we have explained all those apparent miracles and gotten them out of the way. And we are the sadder for it. If you don't have miracles in your life, you're really diminished. Paul reminds us in the second reading today that there is not only the original creation, but there is a new creation going on. Something new is happening all the time. And this new creation isn't to be looked for in the natural world, in the world of animals and plants and amoebas and all those other things which I never studied about in school because they were all discovered after I went to school. But they're being discovered within us. That's where the new creation is happening. That's where the creating and sustaining God is continually at work. He must be exhausted by this time. So that whenever the natural world and science and all the great things that we know about the universe, whenever that kind of knowledge leads us away from the creator and sustaining God, we know we have lost our way. And whenever we, in the light of all this science, as we often do, see ourselves as nothings in the sight of God. One planet, people who live 60, 70, 80, 100 years maybe. I mean, in the prospectus of the whole universe, which every day you pick up the paper, they've gone a couple of more miles, we really appear to be insignificant. We thought the amoeba was small. We're the amoebas of the universe. That's as small as I got in high school. We didn't get any smaller than that. So whenever we, in the light of science, see ourselves as nothing, we have misunderstood the whole creative power of God. We just don't get it. So we have to use the insights which are God-given, the discoveries which we say are our discoveries, but they're just God revealing himself more and more fully to us. We have to see them as a revelation of God. And I would even say within this new creation, we have to continually be looking for miracles, for things that God could do that we could never achieve. And where do we look for them? We look, first of all, within ourselves. That change, evolution, is possible. And perhaps even more importantly, we need to look within others for this kind of change and evolution. So often we freeze people on a little glass slide because of something that happened or something that they did, and they're there for the rest of their lives. We have to take our life out of that kind of a laboratory and begin to marvel at what we see through the microscope of God's revelation, or the telescope of God's revelation. And the only thing that's lacking that will help us and make it possible for us to see the miracle in ourselves and the miracle in others is trust. The first thing Jesus said after he stilled the storm was, "Do you not have faith?" And faith means trust.